August 4th, 2023. I'm Brian. Another episode of WNBA Leans. Big slate tonight, 4 games. Going to get right into it. Has been a couple of days since I shot a video. We did go 2-1 on those guesses the other day. Today we got 4 games. We're going to talk about this just for a minute. Going to try to go through this swiftly, try to assist you when you're thinking. But I want to tell you, first of all, if you don't agree with anything I say, toss it out. If you do agree and it does help you, fantastic. I hope you win some money today. Before we begin, hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate that. Football season is among us. I'm going to start shooting football videos shortly. I've already shot some. I got a link in this description for one of them. But let's get right into these games. Okay, so we got the Fever hosting the UConn Sun. Fever pick up a victory the other day. That's a game I was wrong on. They were 6-point favorites. They were able to hold on late. They did win that game. I do want to tell you that the Fever have hung close with the Sun before. Earlier this year in May, the Fever lost by 3 in Connecticut. I keep saying UConn, doesn't matter. You know what they are. They're the Sun. Okay, bottom line is this, though. When I do look at this now, we're catching 8 points as the Fever do. So what happens is, the Sun are on the road. They were on the road recently, okay? Their last game, they actually had a back-to-back, did the Sun. Then they played the Minnesota Lynx twice, right? So they were actually at home. They played the Minnesota Lynx twice. They had to extend themselves at home to get the victory in the second one. We did have Minnesota plus the points the same way we had them in the first one. They covered for us. If I go into this game here, I'm going in the previous game. I'm looking at the matchup here. And I just think that 8 points in this game is probably too much. The Fever aren't good. They're not going to win this game, I don't think. But 8 points is a lot. And because they've played the Sun pretty much, it's been 5-5 last 10, I would be tempted to take the 8 if I was going to bet this. I'm not betting this game, but if I was, I'd be tempted to take the 8. I see no reason to go one way or the other. But if you're pressing me for this video, which you are, because I'm shooting it for you, I'm taking the 8 with the Indiana Fever. All right, let's go into L.A. The Sparks are going into Washington to play the Mystics. I kind of like this matchup for the Sparks, and the reason being, yeah, they did lose twice to the Liberty. They are hitting the road here and going into Washington. But you know, what have the Mystics really done? I mean, they do have a better record, and the Sparks are having a tough time winning games. But you know what? The Mystics are coming home. 3 road games in a row they lost. They did cover the last one against Atlanta, and those are all good teams they played and lost to. But they are coming home, and they did lose 3 in a row. I think the situation in this instance favors LA, and I would be tempted, if I was going to play them, to take the 3.5 points, which is what I see right now. I'm shooting this at about 8 a.m. on the Pacific coast of the United States. So I would take the 3.5. The Sparks plus the 3.5 would be my play. Is it a possible total? I mean, you know what? The last one went under. This game might also go under. I wouldn't venture there, though. I would stay with the Sparks plus the points if you were forcing me to play this game. You are not. I am not. I'm not playing anything, but that's what I would do. Okay? So, going into Chicago actually going into Dallas to play the Wings. Dallas bounces back in a big way in the last game they covered. I didn't shoot a video on that one, but if I would have told you to take the Wings, and they did cover. They blew out whoever they were playing. I forget. Bear with me for forgetting. Okay, I'm going to find out for you right now. Okay, here we go. Dallas just beat the heck out of Seattle by 11. Okay, all right. So we'll go into this Chicago Sky game. Now the Sky did beat the Phoenix Mercury at home in Chicago. They blew them out actually last game. So Chicago hits the road, goes into Dallas. But I will tell you this. Dallas and Chicago, so they both have winning records against the spread. Chicago's a little better against the spread, but I just think Dallas is going to probably be a little more focused here. So what happens is this. When a team is bad and they win a game at home, they usually lose focus. They're happy with themselves. Oh, we finally got a victory. They go hit the road, and they're just not very good. They generally don't have focus on the road, and I think that's going to happen here. Although Chicago did beat Dallas at home on May 28th this year, I think Dallas just comes home and handles their business. If you were forcing me to play this game, I would take Dallas minus the 10 points. And I'd sit right there and I'd put, $5 on it. Okay. Bottom line though is this: I side with Dallas in that game. All right, go to the last game here. The Liberty and the Minnesota Lynx. Lynx plus 11 here. Liberty, 2 tough games. They come in here and they're going to play Minnesota. Now let's go into the matchup here. Minnesota's a little better against the spread than New York, but I just feel like after Minnesota beat them in July in New York, they beat them. So I just think that you're going to see New York come in here in Minnesota, and I think they're going to win this game. I think they might cover that 11 points. I'd be tempted to take the Liberty minus 11. And the reason I say that is because the Minnesota Lynx just played the Connecticut Sun 2 times in Connecticut. They beat them the first time. The second time, they were losing steam. They come home now, and I think that the Liberty might catch them and throw a beat down on them just because. So those are my thoughts. Hope that helps you. Hope your weekend started out right. If you bet the NFL preseason game last night and you won, congratulations. Hope this helps you. Hit the subscribe button if you don't mind. I'm looking for 800 sports bettors for the NBA season. It's going to be huge. Talk to you soon.